Hello, buddy. My name is Tugs, and welcome to Community Chat. Today I'm joined by Booone.
Hello. Yeah, that's me.
And today's topic will be SWAT 4 with us here. Today, as a guest on our interview podcast, we have a member of ETS community, Viking. Hello, Mr. Viking.
Hello there.
Okay, let's start up with a few questions.
Certainly. So, Viking, how has your year been in SWAT 4?
My year in SWAT 4, that's a very good question. I haven't been very active on the recent of dates, of activity, what am I saying? I've had a lack of activity over this year, I think. It's kind of dropped my activity. I haven't seen a lot of action this year, in comparison to last year.
Not a lot of action. What has been the most notable event?
We had Justica make his own ETS training program modification for SWAT 4. That we did some test runs in, and we had some good, enjoyable moments.
That sounds fantastic.
So, Viking, what is the most remarkable event for the SWAT community that, in your opinion, basically?
Well, that's definitely the crashing of the SWAT 4 master host server thing. So now we have to improvise our service and such.
How do you think that'll affect the future of the SWAT community?
Well, obviously, let's just put the SWAT community down on its knees. It's still not down just yet, but it's standing strong. Its community is falling slowly, and less people are starting to lose interest in SWAT 4. So it's slowly falling down.
That is, unfortunately, probably true. Alrighty then, Thugs.
Yes.
Back to you.
Additional question that I want to ask you all is, how will you see the future of SWAT, or how you see the future of SWAT community?
The future of the SWAT 4 community, is that the question?
Yes, exactly.
Well, as just mentioned, the communities, people are losing interest in SWAT 4, so we don't have any newcomers to SWAT anymore. It's just old people who rediscovers SWAT 4 lying around somewhere and starts to play it. And it's all just old players leaving or coming again.
I see.
How do you think the future of ETS will look in regards to that?
Well, that'll be pretty much the same principe. A bit of old guys coming back, a bit of new guys leaving, a bit here and there. Yeah.
Alright, that'll let us go to our first commercial interruption. We'll be back in about a minute. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back online. Now, back to our questions. On a personal level, Viking, how has your year been?
I've been pretty busy this year. It's been an important year for me and my my education that I'm going to be using for the rest of my life, which I've had a big jump from your basic school to some proper work education, which leaves me tired, and the fact that it's Christmas doesn't really help things. You need to buy all the Christmas presents and stuff, and I'm not actually finished on that yet, so I have to kind of rush out to get those tomorrow. So yeah, it's been a rough and tiring year for me.
How do you expect the next one to be for you?
I think it's gonna be a bit less tiring and rough in comparison to this year. I'm gonna be studying some more, which means I won't be able to get on the PC so long as I am this year, because I study for mechanic and for for volunteer fire department.
Oh, as a question towards that answer of yours, does the volunteer firefighter job your dream job?
That is the dream. That is what I'm working towards, and that is also the reason why I want to educate myself as a mechanic to get some technical background knowledge to use in the FD.
I have additional questions for you,
here?
Viking. I have additional question for you here. I heard from a lot of people and from a lot of friends, just on the internet itself, that volunteer firefighters do not get a paychecks. Like, they do not receive the paychecks. Is it true or is it a false?
That is entirely true. Volunteer fire department is volunteer. You're not paid for doing it. It's just something you do because you like the community. You want to serve and protect your community. Kind of like police officers' morals, but then again, not. Just a bit difference there. Although the final dream is actually a volunteer firefighter. It is become a full-time or part-time at least. So it's not really volunteer I want to do because I don't want to live the rest of my life on the streets.
Yeah, that is understandable.
Yes, living on the streets would take its toll.
That was amazing.
Did a job. Great stuff.
So, yeah, Viking. Hi.
Am I the only one you're interviewing?
You're the only one that actually wanted to come here and didn't run away.
Anyway, let's jump to other person. Let's not terrorize Viking anymore. Let's jump to the Booone. So, Mr. Booone, how would you summarize the 2013 for yourself?
Well, I would start out as being a trash man, and summing it up, it was a very vivid experience. I've met a lot of people, also being the thrill of 2011. I was very much into bump.
What the fuck? What was that?
Oh, good stuff.
Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah. So as I was saying, I was very much into bumper cars, and near the end of the year, where I'm still working right now, I've been a radio man at the local radio station.
Oh, and how was going for you? Do you enjoy it or not as much as you would
Well, the
like
whole
to?
thing was honestly pretty unorganized. The first day I came in there, I actually was supposed to be a guest there, but then they kind of recruited me to do the talkmaster rearing there. So they've let me into this room with this weird guy who quickly briefed me on how that was actually going to go down, and, well, long story short, we just went back into the recording room with me suddenly as talkmaster, and we've started interviewing the first person who I didn't even know who he was, some weird person from a country that I didn't even know existed, and, yeah, I had to improvise on some weird stuff there. Also, to get back to the bumper cars, that was thorough.
Is that radio station anecdote? Is that a real thing, or is that just some bullshit you're making up?
I would not lie on a radio station. About a radio station.
Is this a radio station?
In some sort of way it is.
Well, as I said, I wouldn't lie about a radio station.
You've got some correct morals there. Good on you, Mr. Booone.
You ruined the joke, Viking. God damn.
Yeah, I did.
Okay then, do you have anything more for me? Come at me.
Okay, regarding the SWAT 4 topic, as you are part of AST community, how would you summarize the AST community in overall? Do you think that in the next year, or this year was lucky year for that community, I might say, or do you think that was a failing year for this community? And what do you think of the next year for this community?
Are we talking in regard to SWAT or in general?
Yes, in SWAT.
Well, in SWAT, yeah, just as for you guys, the master server going was a big thing, and that also led to a massive decline in any guests that we would receive on our servers. That is probably not going to change anymore into the future, which is why we're expanding to, you know, other games. Also Arma 2 very recently, actually over the course of this year, kind of recently. Now anyways, getting back to SWAT, if I recall correctly, we had multiple recruits, but nothing really mentionable since, you know, that master server thing, and well, we've managed to get some successful events up, some trainings, but yeah, nothing new member-wise.
So, your community, as far as I understand, your community will be jumping to some new games, let's say, for example, like Arma 2 or something along those lines, and we'll just sack SWAT 4 as it is. Am I correct?
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it a jump, we're just expanding. We, you know, we do also incorporate Arma 2 now. We host events for Arma 2. We start recruiting in Arma 2. But that doesn't mean we're abandoning SWAT. SWAT is still somewhat... well, it is pretty alive still with the current players that we have and are in and around the team. But the future is probably going to be more oriented towards Arma 2, advertising there, getting new members there, and refining our procedures in that regard.
I understand. Okay, regarding the Arma 2 question right here, I do know many of the communities in Arma 2, let's say, for example, ShackTag. Do you think that at some point you'll be as big as, for example, let's say, ShackTag? Or are you planning to be a smaller group of Arma 2 community?
Well, the big goal is, of course, to become a big community, just like those guys at ShackTag, but these guys are around for, well, now, probably a decade, something around that.
Yeah, almost 9
and
years.
they've amassed their people, like, for all that time, so it will be the goal in the end, and it would be nice if we get there, but that is far in the future. Anyhow, we do not intend to stay small as the team. We do try to, you know, get new members so we can host bigger events more successfully.
Yes, very, very interesting. Additionally, I'm really curious if you'll be jumping into the YouTube industry, like, I don't know, like as a community uploading your videos there, you know, to maybe expand the reach to your fans, or expand the reach of your community to other people.
Well, that is happening right now. Our YouTube channel is started actually getting actively used this year. We've started to put up some videos of gaming sessions, also of live operations, and even, if I recall correctly, 1 or 2 Arma sessions should be on there as well. So, yeah, that will hopefully become one of the bigger advertising projects, and hopefully yield some success in the end.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else to say to the audience, Booone, or is it all that you have got for them?
I think I'm done.
Alright. I do think we're going on the last break, and afterwards we will wrap this thing up. We're back. My co-partner, or co-host, Booone, has left the building for this period of time, and we have a new host in our facility. It's Ice. Say hello to everybody.
Hi everybody.
Today we have on today's topic we have, you know, SWAT 4, and we talk about it mainly. So we asked people from clan like EST, ETS of the future of SWAT 4 community. Now it comes time for you. So, you know, how each sees the future of SWAT 4 community and each clan itself.
Oh, well, that's a really hard question. I didn't expect that, but yeah, the SWAT 4 community. Yeah, all you know, the SWAT 4 is a little bit old game, so it has its graphical limits and stuff like that. But the community, I think, is pretty strong, you know. There is not much new players and stuff like that, but we're holding together, you know, tidying up bounds between clans and stuff like that.
Yeah, I understand. And what do you think is the future of each clan? Or, you know, you think it will be getting bigger, or you will be sticking to SWAT 4 for like your main game, or you'll be switching to this to some new game, because you know SWAT community is all good, but you know, old game, not a lot of new faces, and it's
Yeah, yes, I know what you mean. Oh well, that is also a difficult question, but yeah, it all depends on the players, you know. If they would like to be joined, you know, to somehow our team or the other clans and stuff like that, you know. All depends on the players, you know, the new, the old ones, the ones who return to the game after a few years of absence.
yeah, true that. We receive, as ETS clan, we have received so many new or so many old new faces, I guess, that came up for like a year or so. Anyway, how would you, switching from the SWAT 4 topic to just, you know, regular life, I guess, how would you sum up your year, that is 2013, you know, maybe few words?
Few words, okay. You mean how I spent this year, 2013, how I judge it, or something like that?
Yeah, how was it for you? Was it good, bad, I don't know, that stuff. What are the feelings about this year? And
I also was a new old member of the team. I've retired some time ago, but then the clan was almost, you know, closed. Everybody was like, you know, didn't feel the, you know, this connection between our team, you know. Everything started to fall apart. Members starting to resign, you know. Join some other clan, playing some new games. But yeah, I think it was a good year. We're back here. I'm back with the ITS also. We got a few new members, so I think we're evolving slowly. But yeah, we can call it progress. Especially in that hard times, you know.
yeah, especially those times. Additionally, what do you think of the servers? Regarding the SWAT 4 back again, what do you think of the servers? So will the support from Marky Boy will disappear, or the new guy will take place, or the Marky Boy will be supporting still the server for quite a while?
You know, I don't have a really idea what the guys are about to do with the servers. If they're gonna be running or not.
No, just your opinion on. From players' perspective.
I know personally I got a few favorite servers which I play constantly and almost only, so that's not a really question for me. You must ask the person who is much more around, you know.
I see, okay. And no specific question here, or no specific answer here, okay. Yeah. Anyway, I do believe we have a last question for you, is that what do you think of the next year, or how do you, what is your plans on the next year, that is 2014?
My plans? I don't know, upgrade my machine, because it's a little out of date, you know. I don't know, maybe to check some new games, maybe some tactical Pearl will came out, you know, after time, not like the Takedown. Maybe the Ground Branch will show something interesting.
Oh, you talked here about the Takedown previous sentence, so what can you tell people about the game, because, you know, as all of the clans like ST, TS, ETS, all of those SWAT 4 clans had high expertise for that game, but it turned out to be pretty much shit, so...
Yeah, I also expect much from that game, you know. It's supposed to be next Raven Shield. I mean, some kind of return to the basics.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all know it was not so good game. Lots of bugs, you know. I don't know, I'm really disappointed with that game. It didn't meet my expectations from the tactical game.
Yeah, well,
Probably
a lot.
like most of the players
Yeah, exactly.
who invested in that game, but yeah, maybe the patches will do something good for that game, but for now, I forgot about the takedown.
Yeah, as a lot of us, you know, like, it also costs pretty much, or pretty high. Like, they put a pretty high price on it, so for that laggy game, it's, you know, will not do that stuff. Should not do that stuff. And I do believe I have really 100% the last question for you is that do you think that tactical shooter genre is dead, or is there any possibilities for the new game to arise on the horizon?
I don't know. So far, I watch only regress with the tactical games, not any progress. You know, there was a lot of older games. I mean, a lot older than SWAT, something like the Raven Shield and the other fine games. But you know, the developers, instead of taking the best parts of that game and putting into the new ones, they try to, you know, I don't know how to call it, try to figure out something new, something, you know, they are pushing, like the Raven Shield series. All next part of the Raven Shield are not progress but regress from the tactical games.
I see, yeah. I understand that point. It's pretty much what most of the guys did, or most of the companies did, so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the hard reality, you know.
Yeah, it's really hard reality, and that's pretty sad because the tactical or people, there is a lot of communities and a lot of people who really wish for the new tactical, very interesting tactical games like SWAT 4 without any bugs or whatsoever to, you know, be released. But I do not think that it will be possible the upcoming days, weeks, and months. Anyway, I do think that it is all. Would you like to wish anything to the audience, or do you have any questions to ask me?
I don't know, I would like to wish everybody Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2014, and let's hope we're seeing this new year some kind of progress, not the regress with the tactical games.
Yeah, that will be very good if that will be possible. That will be very, very good.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Exactly.
Let's put that on our Christmas list and let's wait.
Let's wait for the Santa to come and do that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining in this small conversation that we had here. It was good to have you here.
Thank you for the invitation.
Anytime. Anyway, I do believe we'll wrap it up right here. So I wish you the merriest Christmas of all to you, and the happiest New Year that you could ever imagine.
Oh, and the clockwise.
Yeah, exactly.
See you around, guys.
Yeah. Bye. And until then, we will come back later with probably new guests, and maybe my co-host will join us again. Hello, and we're back. Welcome back again to the community chat. Today's topic is SWAT 4, and I'm joined again by my co-host Booone.
Why, hello there.
And on this part, or on the part 2 of our chat, or our interview, we have many new guests that arrived to us. Booone, from who will start this interview?
I would say we can start with a Sergeant Detective from ETS.
Oh yes, okay. Hello, Detective.
I think we might have a recording problem.
Yeah, we had a little bit of
Damn
a
it,
technical...
can we get a technician over here?
Exactly. Okay, maybe we will switch to AST Lewis if Detective.
Yeah, you, come over here. Damn it. What an asshole.
Well done, Booone.
Why did we even hire that guy?
I don't know, we probably need to fire this guy now.
So, yeah, we
I
need
think
to-
it's still low budget.
That's for later. Now, let's continue, like nothing happened.
Exactly. So then, if can I choose Detective, who you think will be the best second man in line?
The best second man in line. Lewis is always a good second man in line.
Gee, thanks.
So hello there, Lewis.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it's good. How about you?
Hanging on.
So we have a bit of a few questions for you to answer right now. So I guess we will start with maybe you can introduce yourself to the audience. Talk a bit about yourself and who you are, what you do, and so on and so on.
My name is Lewis. I'm a corporal on AST or Advanced Squad Tactics. I'm currently managing the X-Fire and taking care of some parts on YouTube. And mainly helping the team out any way that I can. I'm an active SWAT player and takedown player.
For how long you were active as SWAT player right now?
You mean on AST or just
No,
in general?
I mean overall.
I started playing SWAT really young, just not the multiplayer part. I went into multiplayer part seriously for about, I would say, 3 years, 4 years, something around there.
And you told, said that you're playing Takedown. How was, what do you think of that game? How was it in your opinion?
Oh, the game had some nice ideas. The developers had some great ideas. Sadly, the execution wasn't perfect, and we were left with something that isn't really considered by me a tactical gaming or a game like Battlefield or Call of Duty. Just a hybrid of those franchises.
Understandable. And second question along those lines, why are you still playing Takedown? I heard from a lot of people and everywhere people saying that it's shit, and mainly not a lot of people playing it, but why are you still continuing to playing it, or did you stop?
Well, I play Takedown whenever I can. The game isn't perfect, though the developers are doing a great job on fixing it, and hopefully in a few months the game will be considered a tactical gaming by the community and played by all the tactical players, I guess.
Will you think it will be next or a new SWAT for tactical communities like AST, ETS, ETS, or SAS?
I believe it has potential to be that kind of game, but only the time will tell us if it's really going to be that kind of game.
Now, with this setback in mind of Takedown not being that good, especially on release, how do you think that's going to affect the tactical genre in general for the future?
It's not gonna attract so much attention as it should. People were really hyped about Takedown, but sadly the developers couldn't deliver what they promised. So we were left with this. It will bring a lot of sadness, and we kinda lost a part of our community with that. But hopefully it will bounce back, and next year will be a great year for the tactical community. Yeah, hope is the last one to die.
Are there any titles that you are awaiting in the next year, in this year?
Yeah,
Well, this next year, no, 2014.
I'm hopefully awaiting the release of Ground Branch, which seems like proper tactical gaming. I know Arma 3 was released already. I'm hoping to get that one as well. But that's really the only two games I have in mind regarding the tactical community.
Yeah, Arma 3 is already released quite a while ago, but Arma 3 is not really the same genre. It's not really that close to what SWAT 4 was and what Takedown tried to be. And yeah, for the future there's probably not too much coming up, at least right now.
I don't see a lot of options in the horizon, actually. taking the fact that no one's producing a game like SWAT, we'll have to hang on to those type of tactical games.
So, regarding the tactical game genre, if, I don't know, for any type of reason, big AAA titles, like EA or people who release a SWAT 4 for some reason will be listening to this podcast, what would you like to say to them?
I would love if they could bring the SWAT monster servers back up, or perhaps create the sequel of SWAT 4, or develop a game like that, because we, the tactical community, should not be rejected in any way. I think we have the same rights as the rest of the COD players and Battlefield players, and we should be rewarded with a great tactical shooter.
Seems reasonable enough. Booone, do you have any questions to Mr. Lewis about the SWAT community overall? We can proceed on to the real life, I guess, topic of his.
I think we can move on.
Okay. So now we will go to the question regarding, I guess, your mainly real life, I guess, or internet life, I guess. Anyway, how would you summarize the 2013 for yourself, Mr. Lewis?
It wasn't a bad year. I was hoping to do more, but the time ran short. I wasn't able to make everything I could, but it wasn't that bad overall.
And what is your, if it is of course not your secret, what will you be doing, or what is your plans on 2014?
Well, to dedicate myself more to my studies and enjoy myself in gaming as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Still not much planned. I'm a person that lives in the moment, and what happens, what doesn't happen.
A pretty nice life position, I might say. Booone, do you have any more question to Mr. Lewis here, or we can move on to the next person?
Can go ahead and move on.
Alright. I guess we will choose Imprzz from ETS Tactical Gaming.
Hey.
Imprzz, how would you summarize, or what rating would you give a takedown game? Because if of course you played that game previously.
You mean SWAT 4?
No, I mean the game that
game Takedown?
Yes, because it was mainly our, I guess, hope for SWAT communities, mostly. More or less, more of the communities wanted that game to be the next game, and not only SWAT, but to move on to Takedown, and what do you think, basically, of that thing, and do you think is there really a future for the Takedown to be a part of this tactical community overall?
Well, to be honest, I don't really know about that game. I mean, I have never played it.
But do you know anything whatsoever? Like, not just play it, did you hear something about it, or you know nothing? Well, okay.
No, I haven't.
Okay, then we'll switch to SWAT 4 just now.
Alright.
What do you think of SWAT 4 as a game, first of all, and how much time would you say is left for the SWAT 4? I mean, a lifetime for that game overall.
Well, I think SWAT 4 is a really good game for a tactical game, and it's really fun to play with the others. And but I think in a few years, or I don't know how many years, it will disappear. I mean, so you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand you.
So just a few clowns will play with it, and no one else.
So you're trying to say that it will decay over the time, and nobody else besides the communities that are already running on that game will be playing it?
Yeah, I think there will be a game which will be replaced by it.
And in your opinion, what will be the best game to replace SWAT 4 in this moment? I mean, I'm not talking about only, I guess, police tactical games like SWAT 4, but any tactical game whatsoever, like, for example, Arma 2 or that games.
Well, I think at the moment there isn't any better game than SWAT 4, but it is there's someone who likes SWAT 4, there's someone who would not, so it's changed person, you know. I mean, there is no best game and worst game.
Yeah, true that. Booone, can you take over it or proceed with the questions? Booone? Booone, hello. I do think we have some sort of a problems with our co-host. I do believe he is dead right now. We will try to contact him as soon as we can in order to know what happened to him. But until then, I'll try to. Oh, it seems like Booone is not dead and he is alive and operational.
What? Yes, certainly.
We were just talking a little bit about, and I wanted to, give you a lead on the next question. You weren't responding, and we were very worried that you died there.
No, I was talking to our technician.
Oh,
and,
I see.
Well, yeah, he doesn't work here anymore.
Good. Well, while you were there on a break, could you take over the questioning of Mr. Imprzz right now?
Mr. Imprzz?
Yes, I'll go ahead and fill out a few forms for new technician.
Okay, certainly. So, Mr. Imprzz, you say there is gonna be a successor or spiritual successor to SWAT 4?
Yeah.
Do you have any games in mind that were, announced currently that might be?
No, there isn't at the moment.
Now, the SWAT 4 community is slowly drifting towards an end with the master server being down, and well, that's probably going to mean that this certain game that might be a spiritual successor is going to come very soon, or the SWAT 4 tactical community is going to find something different. Do you think there is a chance that the community surrounding SWAT 4 will simply die out because of this?
Yes, there is a chance. So I think there will be a game which will replace SWAT 4, but I can't say anything now. But there probably will be.
We forget a few questions to ask Imprzz about, and how would you summon? It's a question that we ask everybody here just to know the opinion. How would you summarize the year 2013 for yourself?
It was a good year, I think, better than 2012, and I hope 2014 will be better than this.
So you are hoping that 2014 will be much better year than the 2013 right now?
Yes.
Alright. Do we have still connection with Lewis? Is he still on the line?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Oh, good. I just wanted to ask you both questions to Imprzz and Lewis. Do you have anything to wish to our audience? You can wish whatever you want, not like specific stuff.
Well, since we're in the occasion, I would like to wish a Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yeah, and Happy New Year.
And good gamings.
Yeah, lots of gaming in the next year.
So shall we go for another commercial break? That'll earn us some money.
Yes, exactly. More ads, more money.
Alright, then we'll go in for a short commercial break, and then we can move on to our next guests, Sokol and Struis. Alright, we're back from the commercial break here at the community chat. Now, as promised, we have here the two Master Chiefs, or Colonel and... what was that?
I think you mean Commanding Officer.
Yeah, the two commanding officers of ETS, Struis and Sokol, as we promised, because we're nice guys. Now, Struis and Sokol, we've already talked about the SWAT 4 community, and especially about the release of the game Takedown Red Saber. What expectations did you guys put into that game?
Well, I had a lot of expectations for Takedown, because it was about the first game coming out having a CQB setting. So my expectations were pretty high. So I was pretty disappointed at the first release. Not sure if Sokol even tried it in the beginning.
Yeah, thanks Struis for your answer. Well, I was also expecting quite a lot from that game, considering that the background of the producers were quite interesting. They were developers of the original Ghost Recon series, Rainbow Six series also. So I imagined the game Takedown Red Saber would be a quite interesting CQB tactical shooter. However, the first release left me quite disappointed because of all the major bugs that were in the game.
Hold on. We will talk a bit more about the issues of the game later. But you say you had very high expectations into the game. Did you expect
Indeed.
that it could replace SWAT 4 and possibly also be the new SWAT 4 for ETS, your new main game?
Well, I kind of did, sort of. I was kind of hoping it would be like the new major game, allowing pretty similar gameplay that SWAT has. So we could actually move our current clan, like that was focused completely on SWAT 4, so we could bring a well-organized clan into the new takedown community. So that was something I had in mind, but it's far away from my mind right now.
Alright, now we'll pick back up the issues of the game. Sokol, what are the main issues that you currently see in the game?
Well, to be honest, I haven't checked the game recently, mainly because I lost interest in the game. But at the beginning, there were major issues with the multiplayer itself. It was most of the time unplayable due to disconnects, not being able to save your loadout and stuff like that, which was quite disappointing, to be honest.
Do you have anything to add to that, Struis?
Well, I guess maybe the expectations were a bit too high at first. So I was kind of really trying to find positive points in the first release, but I came across so many disappointments. Like, if you compare it to the interface to SWAT, for example, when you think about having a server in the future and being able to manage that server, there was like completely nothing in Takedown to do that properly. You couldn't even see which players were in your game, which were in your team. There was almost no way to find out to know which member you just killed or who killed you or who was standing right next to you, because there was no name at all. You had to like guess who was right in front of you, and that was pretty annoying. I mean, at that time I couldn't see any possible way to have administrate a server. And then there were all the game flaws, of course.
Yeah, I see.
So,
did you have any organized sessions in the game so far to test it, to try the possibilities of the game together with ETS?
well, we had a couple of members joining together and just trying the game out, but we didn't have any major events to play because, well, in the beginning not that many members had the game, and those two who had the game were kind of disappointed in it really fast. So we had a few sessions with some of our members like Muppet and such, but it didn't take us quite long to like get back to SWAT, and like let's wait like a year or so, maybe then Takedown will be something better.
But Sorellon gave away a free copy of the game to everyone who bought the game. Did that help the spread in ETS? Did you do anything after that?
Yeah, it did help a bit, but at that time there were too many people already disappointed in it, and some of them were like, well, I see no reason why to even try it again. So I think there was a lot of damage already done at that time when it comes to the reputation of the game.
Alright.
And also not many people had the game at the beginning, so those who bought the game, they got a free copy, as you said. So in the end, there still wasn't that many members in ETS who had the game. It was maybe maximum 6 or 7 members, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Alright. So now to get back to how this affects the community in general, we also asked our previous guests about that. But to give that some perspective, we have some numbers. The Kickstarter project of Takedown has roughly 5,000 backers. That means 5,000 people that put their own money into the game to support it, to help its development. And they in total spent about $200,000 on the game. That means every single backer, by the statistics, paid roughly $40 just to support the game. How do you think that affects the tactical community?
Well, I guess it all comes down to how those people are reacting to the first release, because think the first response of Sorellen at all the critics about the game, he said like, well, many of our main contributors do like the certain features we have put into the game, and they were at a certain level were satisfied. So I'm not sure if those people are that disappointed in the game. I think a couple of them are, but I don't have a clear view on them.
Now, taking the community surrounding us, let's say ETS and AST, maybe ITS, the feedback has been largely negative. So chances are that opinion is not only on our side. Do you think there will be any more games that attempt to be a successor, or rather spiritual successor to SWAT 4 and Raven Shield?
Well, I'm still having maybe a naive hope to see a major gaming company pick up that lost path. But so far, if you look at all the games that are coming out these days, they're all focused on high graphics, more cinematic view of the game, more arcade-like style. So and those that are implementing realism as much as they can are usually focused on a military base and not on a CQB or police focus. So I'm not really that optimistic when it comes to new games similar to SWAT 4, but I know Sokol might be.
Yeah, well, I also think that there won't be many games or any games coming out soon or in the future at all when it comes to police squad-based games. Mainly because there isn't much interest in those games, and the community revolving around those games isn't that big, so the producers will not make so much money as if they were to make a generic first-person shooter game, mainly referring to Call of Duty.
As for me, it's I think my biggest hope is that there will be a game with a good engine and that allows a lot of mods to be made, that somebody will make a good police SWAT mod for it that comes close to the games that we have in SWAT 4 and that becomes popular. I think that's the thing I hope for the most. That can be realized maybe.
Yeah, only that would be possible. A mod, not an entire game.
Do you have any games in mind that might become this in the future?
Well,
Probably only announced titles.
I don't know, maybe a good modder will take care of Takedown and bring it up to a good level, but I don't have any other game right now in mind that's suitable for it. I haven't really done much checkups on the internet about it, so there might be something around, I don't know.
It's possible that Ground Branch, which has been in development for several years now, it has reached the alpha stage as well. They have added the game to Kickstarter project for the second time because the first time obviously failed. So they are hoping to get some backers so they can continue developing the game. And I really hope that Ground Branch will become something similar to SWAT at least, because the developers said the game will be something like the original Ghost Recon Rainbow Six, maybe even SWAT 4 type of game, but with a bit larger maps. Something like a mixture of Armed Assault franchise and the original tactical first-person shooters. So it's quite possible that there might be that Ground Branch might be similar to SWAT 4, or there might be a mod as well made, so the game could be like SWAT 4.
Do you think that Ground Branch in the end might be a game that could replace SWAT 4, and that could replace SWAT 4 for you as a community, or rather as a clan?
Well, it might be possible. I'm not quite sure, mainly because I'm not sure how many of our members would like Ground Branch, considering not many of them bought Takedown, which, Takedown and Ground Branch will be sort of similar, except Ground Branch will be more open world with larger maps, but it all comes down to the same thing: CQB battles and focus on cooperative gameplay.
Now, seeing the lack of options, what do you think the SWAT 4 community, or specifically ETS, will move in the future, since SWAT 4 is basically a dying title right now, especially because of the master server that has been taken down.
Yeah, well, I think as long as there's something to get out of the SWAT 4 community, out of the SWAT 4 gameplay, then we will still be providing that, and we'll still be able to get something out of it. Of course, we won't get many recruits out of them, and you see, even our members play it less and less. So I think we should be looking forward to some other games already there that might not have the CQB tactics or CQB environment, but does have the realism and the team play that we like in ETS. So that means like probably games that are like Arma or other team-based shooters. It's still very uncertain.
Okay, so Thugs, you haven't been speaking for a while.
That looks like it will remain that way.
Yeah, that might be. Okay. Well then, do you have you made any preparations so far, or do you have any, title in mind just personally, that might replace your game, your SWAT 4?
Yeah, I think right now we aren't really looking for an actual replacement, but more for an additional game to play along SWAT 4. And well, we had, of course, many discussions in the past, and they usually only show that the opinions were pretty divided among our members. We actually just started a new topic on our website discussing, maybe getting along, for example, Arma 2 as a side game for our clan, but that's still in early stage, so nothing has been decided yet. Arma 2 was usually not really an option because we had many members that couldn't really have the game because it was too heavy, or they just didn't have the game. What we see slowly changing, members get a better PC, members trying out different games, so perhaps Arma 2 can be our next game that we will support, but it's still very uncertain.
Alright, then I think our show is slowly coming to an end. Do you guys have anything more that you want to say before we end the show?
Well, Sokol, you got something to say?
Well, no, not really. I think we said everything.
Yeah, at least I'm happy that at ETS at least we had a bit of a calm year, and we didn't have that much trouble yet, like 2012, which almost destroyed our clan. So, and of course, we're looking forward to next year.
Alright, so I think as everyone else, and we'll take this chance to wish our viewers a Merry Christmas, and this is going to be the end of our show today. Have a good night.